Happy Sunday! So this is the start of a vlog. I am reading The Red Winter by Cameron Sullivan. I've heard so many good things about this fantasy novel that I have just been dying to pick it up.
Like a bird on a tree.
I have had so many DNFs recently that I'm really just on a mission to find a book that compels me to pick it up, that is so engrossing I can't put it down, that has a main character with a really great voice and a magic system that is just something different. And I've heard people say that this book does a lot of things, and one of the really great things that it does is has multiple timelines, and the main character is really fun to read, is funny, but also has some unique capabilities and just some unique aspects to them. So I'm hoping that this one is a winner. I just started it last night. I'm on page like 22, and so far so good. I do think that it has some kind of tongue-in-cheek, funny aspects, even just 22 pages in. So yeah, I'm really having high hopes for this one. Keep your fingers crossed. I think that's it for now. Oh, this is blurbed by T. Kingfisher. It says charming, haunting, ambitious, and a great deal of fun. So I think that's a good omen. I've read one thing by T. Kingfisher actually, and it was her oh god, what is it called? Snake something. It was on one of my wrap-ups. I thought it was really fun. This book, from what I understand, is about Professor Sebastian Grave, who receives news that the terrible beast of Gavandon has returned in the French countryside. Runs red in its wake. He knows this beast, a monster slayer with centuries of experience. He's joined the hunt for a creature 20 years ago and watched it slaughter its way through a long and bloody winter. Even with the help of his indwelling demon, who makes payment in living hearts, it nearly cost him his life to bring the monster down. No, 2 decades later, Sebastian has been recalled to the hunt. This is a darkly entertaining retelling of the hunt for the beast of Gavandon. Lifting the veil on the hidden world behind our own, it reimagines the story of Europe from Imperial Rome to Saint Jehan d'Arc, the madness of the Gilles de Ras. I'm probably butchering all of these names. And the first flickers of the French Revolution. So I know nothing about the beast of Gavandon, but I might look it up. Stay tuned.
From up here, the world seems small. We can sit together. It's so beautiful. You and me, we meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free. Sometimes you need to go and take a step back to see the truth around you. From a distance you can tell.
Happy Monday, guys. I am on my way to work, and I just thought that I would add to the fact that I'm reading The Red Winter because I am also reading We Used to Live Here by Marcus Cleaver. I put this on hold at the library and it came in this weekend. So I started reading it. And if you know anything about this book, the premise is there is this young couple, a female relationship. They live in this house that they just bought, that they are attempting to fix up, when one evening, one of the females, her name is Eve, she's home alone waiting for her partner, and a family comes knocking at her door. And this is a horror book, so my understanding was that this family that comes knocking on the door does something to them in a horrific way. Like, they have ill intentions and they are there to cause mayhem for whatever reason. But I am about 25% of the way through this book. It's only like 300 pages. And I have to say that is not, I don't believe that is what is actually happening. I don't believe that is the actual horror within this book. I will tell you that what I was reading last night, before bed, mind you, had me shook. I was freaked out because it basically blindsided me. What is happening is not at all what I expected, and I am here for it. It is so good so far, so creepy. Yeah, I don't know. If you've read this book, I would love to hear your thoughts, spoiler free if you can, in the comments about what you thought was going to happen in this book and what actually happens. Because yeah, I don't know. I'm so excited to get back to it. I hopefully will read some more today. But yeah, what it is doing is so good. So good. So scary, so creepy, that I'm just loving it. Just here for it. This house, if you know, this is an older house, okay? So the couple that shows up, or the family that shows up, the husband says that he grew up in this house. And so I don't know. I'm just not going to give away anymore because I don't want to spoil it, but I just want to talk about it so bad because it just surprised me. So anyway, that's that. I just wanted to bring that up. But I also wanted to say I am 115 or so pages into the Red Winter, and I'm really liking it. I have heard it compared to Between Two Fires meets The Witcher, and I can totally see that comparison. I think it works. It is about your main character is being possessed in some fashion by a demon, though I don't think he necessarily sees it that way. I think that he uses this demon to his advantage and that they've become close, which is a weird perspective, I think. Which is a weird way to look at it. Yeah, and also there's magic and monsters, and yeah, it's been a really fun read so far. I'm really liking the main character, Sebastian. His voice is kind of snarky and funny. I like the multiple timelines. It's been super easy to read. Like, I feel like I'm just flying through. Also, it has like cliff notes, or footnotes, not cliff notes, footnotes, which has been also a really good added aspect to the story, just to add some more insight into some of the ideas. Another book that I read recently did the same thing, and that was The Ruin of Kings by Jen Lyons. She also included footnotes in her story, which I thought really helped the reader to comprehend some of the multifaceted ideas within the story, because of that book was very, very good, but also there was a lot going on, so sometimes it was a little hard to to integrate all the different moving pieces within that story. So I really appreciated the footnotes, which helped to kind of shed some light on some of the ideas and add just that extra layer of detail. So anyway, I don't know. Mondays are usually my busy day at work lately. So I'm thinking I might not get a chance to really read too much at work today. But you never know. I guess we'll see. Otherwise, I will pick it back up tonight, later this week, and I'll check back in when I have more to add. But I just was really feeling so excited about that book last night that I had to share while it was fresh on my mind. Hope you guys are having a great start to the week. I know that when you watch this, it probably won't be a Monday, but you know, the sentiment is still the same. Bye! So I'm just checking in. I wanted to give you an update on Red Winter and We Used to Live Here, because I am probably nearing the 50% mark here, maybe 40% or so, and I am really enjoying it. I think this book is really fun. I am enjoying the 3 different timelines that we are following. I think that the writing is super easy to read. It feels refreshing and fun. The language feels suitable to the time periods, kind of thing. I will say that the one thing that is not really my favorite aspect, or I don't know, I feel like a little bit kind of distant from the characters, or maybe the characters just really aren't as, I don't feel really connected to the characters. Like I don't feel fully invested in their story and their outcome. I do think it's interesting and I do want to know what's going to happen and I'm having fun with it, but I just don't feel that pull that I really enjoy when I'm reading character-driven stories. I think this is definitely very much plot-driven, although the characters are really unique and really fun, and I enjoy how the gods come into play. I don't know, I feel like that piece is actually just a little bit lacking for me for whatever reason. It is what it is. I will definitely continue, and I am enjoying it. We Used to Live Here by Marcus Kleber. That is a wild ride. I'm at like 72% of the way through on this book. It's an ebook I got from the library. And it is not at all what I thought it was going to be. It's very unexpected. I assumed that this was going to be like an intruder kind of horror. And it is in a way, but it's so much more than that. Like there are so many unexpected pieces that come into play. And there have been quite a few instances when I felt kind of creeped out and got the ick. I think it's so good, and I can totally understand all the hype around it. I'm so very much enjoying it. It's exactly what I love when I read good horror. Something that is not predictable, that takes you on a wild ride and just, yeah, creeps you out. So enjoying that very much. I also wanted to give you a rundown of the books that I bought recently. I have 14 books. Okay, so it's kind of a rather large book haul, spur of the moment, but still I wanted to share those with you. So give me a second. I'm just going to quickly run through them, and yeah, I'm not going to give you a bunch of details or anything, but I did pick up Weaving Shawl by Hiba al-Wasadi. I did already read this, actually. I just finished this right before I picked up the Red Winter. I didn't love this. Like, I felt like it was just meh. Like, it was okay. It had potential. Like, the storyline could have been great. It just didn't pack the punch that I wanted it to. I feel like it was pretty predictable. I didn't like the insta-lovey relationship that was in here. I didn't really feel super connected to the characters. I felt like the author did a lot of telling us instead of showing us about the relationship and what was going on behind the scenes. And, you know, I just feel like there had real potential, but just fell short for me. So yeah, this is about a girl who can see the dead. and she makes a bargain with a boy, to basically save her brother's life because he's ill, and she becomes indebted to him in his service, indentured, if you will. And he basically uses her to further his own means. So he, at the start of the story, is set up as like the antagonist, but he's really not, which you quickly learn, and things just proceed from there. There are demons and, kind of magical, fantastical beings and whatnot. So I think that I gave it like a 2.75. Didn't love it. Then I have The Discord of Gods, this is book 5 in the Ruin of Kings series, which I just read. The Ruin of Kings, which is book 1. I have the other 3 books, and I did not have this one. So I went ahead and picked it up because I really enjoyed the first book, and, I guess I was being a little presumptuous, but I really hope to finish the series. I hope that it works for me. So yeah, this is Discord of Gods. I bought The Dog Stars by Peter Heller. This book has a movie actually that is about to come out, and it has, oh Lord, I can't even remember. I'll have to put the movie, the name of the movie and stuff up here when I look it up because I can't recall. But seeing the trailer for the movie actually inspired me to pick up the book because this is a dystopian type novel in which, I don't know if it is a flu pandemic that kills everyone. And he basically lives in a small hangar with his dog. And then a random transmission beams through the radio, and he goes off in search of other humans, other people. That's all I really know, but I really love a good dystopian story, so I thought that I would really like to try this out and then maybe watch the movie. Then I got Lifers by Keith McWalter. I really don't recall what this is. There came a day when the boomers stopped dying. Oh, right. Okay. So early mornings went unheated, long-term care facilities filled to overflowing, funeral homes and cemeteries began to close, Social Security imploded. In 2049, the longevity plague has engulfed the world. There are 500 million super centurions worldwide who would be dead but live on. They are called lingerers, or the undead, or lifers. So again, this is like a dystopian kind of book in which people stop dying. I don't know. I was intrigued. I thought it sounded really good. And again, I love dystopian. Is a book from The Broken Binding, which I am so excited they actually sent because I almost bought it, not even realizing that it was coming as a part of my subscription box from The Broken Binding. This is the newest release from Mark Lawrence, The Daughter of Crows. I've heard good things about it so far. I believe it's about an academy of kindness that exists to create agents of retribution, cast in the image of the Furies, the kindly ones, against whom even the gods hesitate to stand. So it is about an academy. I've heard from other booktubers that this is pretty brutal. So I am intrigued. Then I got The Space Between Worlds by Micaiah Johnson. It's kind of a glare. This is multiverse travel is finally possible, but there's just one catch. No one can visit a world where their counterpart is still alive. Enter Kara, whose parallel selves happen to be exceptionally good at dying from disease, turf wars, or vendettas they couldn't outrun. Kara's life has been cut short on 372 worlds in total. On this dystopian Earth, however, Kara has survived, identified as an outlier and therefore a perfect candidate for multiverse travel. Kara is plucked from the dirt of the wastelands. Now, what once made her marginalized has finally become an unexpected source of power. Yeah, I'm not going to keep going, but you get the gist. I think it sounds really good. So kind of sci-fi, dystopian-ish. Next, I grabbed Vigil by George Saunders. This is a pretty short book, and I don't really recall what it is about. Let me see. Taking place at the bedside of an oil company CEO in the twilight hours of his life as he is ferried from this world to the next. Vigil transports us careening through the wild final evening of a complicated man. Visitors begin to arrive, worldly and otherworldly, alive and dead, clamoring for reckoning. I've heard it's pretty good, so excited to check that one out. Red City by Marie Lu. I've heard excellent things about this one. This is a fantasy novel. Alchemy and ambition, power and perfection, love and lies. Welcome to Angel City. Don't let it break your heart. The Godfather meets the Magicians in the sweeping adult debut from the New York Times bestselling author Marie Lu, a dark and deadly contemporary fantasy of magical warfare, star-crossed ambition, and the pursuit of perfection at any cost, set in a glittering alternate Los Angeles. The Stationery Shop by Marjan Kamali. This was a Reese's book club? Reader's Guide. Book club. Favorite. I don't know. This stationery shop illuminates how love is experienced over time and influenced by the fingerprints of others. Yet despite every obstacle, the power of the heart and memory endures. A beautiful and sensitive novel that I loved from the first page is the blurb at the top here. It takes place during the political upheaval of the 1953 Tehran, and it has a girl named Roya who finds a literary oasis in kindly Mr. Fakiri's neighborhood stationery shop, stocked with books and pens and bottles of jewel-colored ink. So this is kind of a literary fiction type story. Making a mess out of these books. Okay, I have A Far Better Thing by H.G. Perry. Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell meets A Tale of Two Cities, a heartrending fantasy of fairy revenge set during the French Revolution. Thought it sounded really good. I'm sure you've heard of this one. This is The Raven Scholar by Antonia Hodgson. I've heard excellent things about this one as well. It's a masterfully woven tale of imperial intrigue from an electrifying new voice in epic fantasy. The Empire of Orun, where after 24 years of peace, the reign of the Burson the Brusque has come to an end in the dizzying heat of midsummer. 7 exceptional warriors, thinkers, and strategists compete to replace him. This one is covered in plastic. So, this is The Poet Empress by Shen Tao. This has been all over BookTube, so I will leave this short and sweet. But I've heard that this one is pretty brutal as well, that you need to check trigger warnings. I think the main character, becomes a concubine to the emperor in order to take him down. That's the gist of what I understand about this story, and I've heard that it's really well done, really good. The Forest on the Edge of Time by Jasmine Kirkbride. 11/22/63 meets The Bone Clocks in this dazzling piece of time travel climate fiction. Recruited by the mysterious Project Kairos to change history and save the future from ecological disaster, Echo and Hazel are transported through time to opposite worlds. Echo works as a healer's assistant in ancient Athens, embroiled in dangerous politics and wild philosophy. Hazel is the last human alive, in a laboratory on a polluted island with nothing but tiny robots and an untrustworthy AI for company. Both women suffer from amnesia, but when they fall asleep, their consciousness transcend time and they meet in their dreams. Together they start to uncover their past, but soon discover that past threatens humanity's survival. Sounds really good, actually, and I didn't even really remember anything about that. And this is the last one. This is The Sky on Fire, another book by Jen Lyons, who wrote The Ruin of Kings. This is a new series, I believe. Enter a world ruled by dragons. You had me at dragons. Anne Harad lives only for survival, forging her own way through the harsh jungles of the deep with her titan Drake by her side. Even when an adventuring party saves her from capture by a local warlord, she is eager to return to her solitary life. But this is no ordinary rescue. It's Anarod's past catching up with her. These cunning misfits and their frustrating dragon rider ringleader intend to spirit her away to the dragon-ruled sky cities where she's the key to their plan to steal from the world's most securely guarded hoard. There's only one problem. The hoard in question belongs to the current regent, Neveranimus, and she wants Anharad dead. And the cover is pretty cool. You can see the dragons flying around. So that's it. That's the little book haul that I have. I haven't shelved these books. I've set them out on my desk in hopes that I may pick them up sooner rather than later. I have an abundance of unread books on my shelves, and I don't want these to kind of get lost in the shuffle as all the other ones that I have purchased in the last few years. I kind of forget what I have and then, just don't pick them up. So I have way too many books. I will never read them all. That's it for now. I'll check back in again when I am done reading these books. Bye. I wrapped up We Used to Live Here like a few days ago. I just totally forgot to update. But now that I am about done with the Red Winter, I thought I should give a quick update. That book was nearly 5 stars for me. Easily 4.5, 4.75. It was such a great mixture of like metaphysical, just intruder horror, body horror, eerie, nonsensical kind of weirdness going on. I loved it. I thought it was great. I thought it was perfect. So good. So if you are looking for a new, great, creepy, strange horror book, you should totally check that one out. I will absolutely be picking up his newest release, which is The Caretaker, which I hear is very similar. It's about a girl who applies for a position as a caretaker of this house, in which there's a video that she needs to watch, basically kind of informing her that it's not your average caretaker position, but she chooses to do it anyway. And it has a lot of the same kind of weird elements. There's some aspects of isolation. Yeah, I've heard it's really good. I am about 75 pages from the end of the Red Winter, and I will say that my feeling of distance between the characters, the main character, definitely passed, and I have grown much more invested in the story, in his story, uncovering what he is, his history. It's kind of unique and haunting and very mysterious, but in all the best ways. I really love the idea of the villain in the story, and I know that I've already given you a little synopsis of it, but such a good read. And again, reminds me of Between Two Fires in some ways, and The Witcher in some ways. It's been such a fun read. I've been picking up every chance I get and just kind of devouring it because it's so well written and entertaining. So that's it for now. I'll check back in when I'm done. Bye. Checking in to say I finished the Red Winter like 2 days ago now, 3 days ago. But I wanted some time to like sit with it and ruminate. I think I gave it 4 stars on Goodreads. But the more I look back on it, think about it, the more I think I enjoyed it and took away from it. Because it says, it's really just a fun, entertaining adventure ride. But it does say some things because it has some religious themes, and it talks about, good and evil, basically. And it's really interesting to see this character who's essentially immortal, who lives with a demon inside of him and is a magician of sorts. But it's interesting to see him be such a good person when inherently he should be bad, right? With these negative connotated beings surrounding him that he has somewhat control over. But to watch him essentially be a good person, and try to do good things with the help of demons and a succubus. And yeah, how do you equate that? Like, how do you reconcile that with his good deeds? It was a very interesting juxtaposition, I think. And I really enjoyed it. I think that even though he is this immortal being, he has so many human characteristics and flaws and traits and whatnot. So I think that was really probably what made him relatable and made his story so intriguing and fun to read. What this author did was really interesting because he delves into some kind of familiar topics, but also does it in an unfamiliar way. So it seems fairly new and fresh and intriguing. So it really kind of kept me wrapped and interested, and I thought it was really, really good. So yeah, if you haven't picked up Red Winter and you're interested in fantasy, if you liked Between Two Fires by Christopher Buehlman, I think this is a great option, a very kind of similar but different story. So that's it. That's gonna wrap up this vlog. I am currently reading Caliban's War by James S.A. Corey. I'm like 150 pages in, so I'm excited to continue in this world, this story. This is book 2. I've been meaning to pick up for ages now, and just getting to it. I'm excited to be back with these characters because I do enjoy them. I'm also reading Yesteryear by Caro Claire Burke, I believe, which is a fun story, and it's all the rage on the interwebs now, but it is essentially about a woman who is an influencer. She leads this seemingly perfect traditional wife lifestyle, and then suddenly she's transported back into the 1800s and is found herself on her farm without electricity and with kids that are hers but are not hers. And so you get glimpses of that. You get glimpses of her life prior to getting married and at the start of her marriage and whatnot. And so it's really kind of confounding and intriguing to see what the heck is going on. It definitely talks so much about motherhood and the way people act in front of a camera and the way people act when off camera, and how presentation is everything and it only gives you the good and not the bad. So you can't always take everything at face value, that there's always more to the story. That's what I'm getting from it so far. I'm like 50% of the way through. I just wanted to give you a little glimpse of what I am currently into. But that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed this little vlog, and I would love to hear your thoughts on these books. If you read them, tell me what you thought, spoilery free in the comments. And if you haven't, tell me what you've been reading. Bye, guys.